London town is hosting one of the most prestigious tournaments in the world with a new deep stack structure. In amongst the lights and bustle of the city, Palm Beach Casino is the setting for the game's hottest names. And the final table lineup so far is awesome.
Yes, just gotta lose the fear. I gotta cool down the jets here. Oh my lord. Oh.
He tried to outplay me. I showed him.
You give up and then you win.
That's right.
Welcome to the Palm Beach Casino for Heat 4 of the Party Poker World Open 5. Tonight, 8 hopefuls will be putting their chips in action, hoping for a spot at our final table. But only the winner is guaranteed a share of the $480,000 prize pool. The runner-up gets a second chance, though, in our runners-up heat. We've had some great action so far and some big names already through. And now we find out just who might be joining them. Tonight's lineup includes last year's November 9er, Scotty Fischman, this year's November 9er, Antoine Zaout, and Alec Torelli, who made the final table of the 40K event this year in Las Vegas as well. Some very impressive final tables among them, but we only have one spot at our final table.
My name's Alec Torelli. I'm 22 years old and I'm a professional poker player from Orange County, California. We got to play to win at our table today, so I'm not going to be hanging around looking to cash. The only thing we can do is win, so I'm going to try and do it. It being televised and a small field and a big buy-in and you know, prestigious event in London, I would love to win this event.
I am Scott Fischman, play poker for a living, live in Las Vegas. The one table format I really love. That's my favorite type of format. If I could play this type of tournament for the rest of my life, I would live happy.
Hi, I'm Teddy Sheringham. I used to be a professional footballer. Now I'm a part-time golfer, part-time poker player. The competitiveness is still there. I want to win and want to beat whoever's in my way.
My name is Antoine Zaout. I made the final table of the World Series of Poker at Las Vegas. In this tournament, I won the win.
Also in the lineup, German qualifier Jan Veit, a veteran of TV poker Trigger Simon Craig, UK Young Gun and GUKPT winner Sam Trickett. He qualified for this tournament 150 feet in the air, Johannes Nord Jorgensen. This game getting into action, Ian. And who do you know on this table?
Seat 2 here. This is the guy from Sweden, the journalist.
He's Danish. I know him quite well. I was because I was sitting next to him. It was this Poker in the Sky thing.
Oh, did you play it?
I went over just to see what was going on, and saying to myself, "There's no way I'm going up there." And you know, 2 beers later and an hour later, and I'm 200 feet in the sky sitting next to this fellow while he. For those of you who don't know, it was a crane that hoisted a poker table up, I think it was 250 feet or something like that, and they played a tournament.
Well, it's quite an easy flop for this guy to continue here, Jesse, raising it up with 6-7.
12,000.
You don't really expect to hit a flop, yeah, but he's cracked it.
And he's got a bit of game, this Jorgensen. I mean, I was actually sitting next to him while he played this Poker in the Sky, and it was not, he was a journalist, but it was not an easy event. It's a slow structure, I think, you know, about 18 people, 3.5, 4 hours play. And this is a lot of money that he's stuck in the first level, but no pair.
Yeah, and obviously, you know,
you don't love it.
No, but this, you know, the other guy, the initial raise at Veit, he must be thinking now, you know, you've got to be expecting to be up against an overpair. But he's got a nice hand. Maybe let's see one card. When these low ones come out like this, you know, this is just what I was going to say. They're always followed by another low one. So,
and I mean, Jorgensen's thinking to himself,
check.
This is his third hand he's raised out of 4. I'm gonna definitely have a pop here.
Yeah.
But overall,
check.
And does Jorgensen have to bet to get ace high off the hand?
He hasn't called with ace high, has he? The other check. He just got to give this pot up now. Check fold. You know, he's thinking he's re-raised him. I think this is a bad bet here because this guy's got to call whatever.
44,000.
Now we saw Tom Dwan in earlier heat or some of the guys, you know, they'd make a check here with a big pair to get the value on the river.
He's going to pass this. Look, you see, what I can't understand here is once the 4 comes on the turn, Jesse, is the guy's checked it. Now, if he's putting him on an overpair,
right,
and he checks it because it's a scare card, then he's still in the same boat.
That's what I put him on. Exactly that.
Well, Veit could just not get over the thought that this Jorgensen, he says, hey, that's the first hand he plays, he must be tight. So Johan, with an aggressive game, has got a little lead.
Completely moronic question. I forgot what it was. And I don't really want to be reminded, but it was pretty dumb.
Like many of the Americans who've been in this tournament, Ian, they've all been in London for about 5 weeks. And, you know, I saw Torelli a couple days ago. I said, when are you going home? He said, tomorrow. So then I saw him today, and I said, I thought you were going home. He said, so did I. So, you know, some of these guys.
This is more like a bit of fun at the end of, you know, 5 weeks of really hard grinding poker. And, and this is a real fun event. You know, it's a big prize pool to play for, which is the attraction, but it's a real fun event, and they're so good to play.
It is.
There's Simon leading out at this with his ace-8.
Yeah, and Antoine, I don't know what he's going to do, but
probably just cool. You know, there's
tricky.
someone else behind him. Yeah.
Without seeing this, I just get the feeling that Antoine could do something like call down and then make a big raise on the river. You know, just for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
$15,000.
Now that Simon's fired twice, he could have a 9 here, couldn't he?
Well, he can do.
Raise to 40,000.
He's just finding out now.
And do you think Simon has a line on Antoine?
No, not at all.
I think he's probably better off if he doesn't know
that's right,
his reputation here and just plays the card straight. Big inflection point here.
Yeah,
nice fold.
Good fold there from Trigger, yeah. He's a believer, Trigger, you know.
Yeah.
He knows that chips are there for a reason, you know, to ask and answer questions, and he's a believer, so, yeah, nice pass.
Welcome back to Heat 4 of the Party Poker World Open 5 here at the Palm Beach Casino in London.
Online while we're playing live.
This tournament has been a revelation so far. The deep stack structure really allowing players to get out on a limb if they want.
Raise to 8,000 total.
Now that's
enough of it.
That's a great. That's sort of a Tom Dwan type raise, isn't it? Guy limps, you isolate, or you're not in love with it.
No, it's pretty standard play. Isn't it?
Standard, all right.
Yeah. It's pretty standard.
4,000.
I would just flat call this and then raise him up on the turn.
16,000.
Wow.
You know he's not got an ace. I'd have flat called there and let him have another go on the turn, and then popped him up a bit.
Now this thing that Fischman does, and he does it a lot.
I have to see one.
Leads out with these little tickly bets.
One more.
Is that right?
One more yellow.
It almost makes you want to raise him every time he does it.
16.
But he doesn't always do it with the intention of passing.
All right.
Well, it's a really weak play.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, sometimes it can be baffling, but it's a really, really weak play.
And is Sheringham, is he a little worried that Fischman could have an ace, or should he know?
I think he knows he hasn't got an ace, but now the other deuce has come up. I wouldn't really be betting this now, because if he raises him, Teddy's got to throw it away. You know, I'd have been content to check that. You understand what I mean? Just
I do.
if Scott decides he wants to stick a raise into him there, then Teddy's got to pass.
On the other hand, it seems like early on now, Teddy has kind of set his stall out. That if I start betting the pot, I'm going to keep going and put pressure on. Don't be looking for free cards and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
More hands per level, but not more.
Without saying one word, he's kind of.
I don't know why I said it.
Scott's going to have to think a little bit about it now.
You get the same amount of hands per level.
No, I mean, yeah, I know.
I know what you mean, but but you just phrased it like a donkey.
I know, because that's how mine works like a donkey.
Raise to 6,000 total.
You know, I can't help it.
I was watching
The only one making.
this Torelli. He was playing it was a semifinal, that heads-up tournament
Just call.
against this James Sudworth, who's a very good player.
Yeah, I like James.
James has played this pot brilliantly against Torelli. Ended up calling him down with ace high. You know, it was a brilliant call, and it was good. And you know, Alec was under his breath, retard. You know, but like Sudworth is, you know, but he's that kind of guy. You know, where like if he gets beaten the pot, definitely the other player's done something wrong. But you know, there's these young internet guys. They're very confident, very confident.
$9,000.
Checked the first time, I guess keeping the pot small, and now he feels like his eights are good.
Raise to 22,000.
Now, what kind of raise is that by Teddy?
Well, it's a nice raise, ain't it? It's a scary old board. You know, you don't know what this guy's bet out with. He's checked, like you said, he's checked the flop and then bet this. This is what Teddy didn't want. He didn't want the call.
Right.
But we'll see how he's prepared to play the hand out now.
Obviously, that's a great card for Teddy. I guess, you know, Jorgensen was thinking, well, I can, if he checks down the river, I'm okay. I don't know how big a bet I can call. Certainly, that card is, he was thinking that that could be one of the hands, you know, 10 Jack, Jack Queen.
He got a value bet this now.
Yeah.
Teddy, because this guy's not going to check if he had a 5.
34,000.
Wow.
Maybe 12,000 too much there. You know, you've got to give the other guy credit for an 8 or a 9, and he would have probably paid about 20, 22. Plus, I don't like making these bets on the end too big in case the guy wants to take off on you and then you have to pass it.
Yeah.
You know, if you put too many chips in, this is what happens with the youngsters. You put too many chips in there, Jesse, on the end, thinking you're value betting, and they crush you.
You know,
they fly in over the top, and you got to pass.
And this is what I've heard about Antoine Zaout. I hope we get to see it tonight. But first level over, and it's Sheringham.
There we go.
Two tightest players so far, Trickett and Simon Craig. Although over 21 hands, it's probably a factor of cards.
Raise to 11.
4 becomes 11.
Pass.
5s.
Pass. Toss.
Around to a small blind. He's got to lean way back to see his cards.
Yeah, he's a big one, isn't he?
Pass. Cool.
Pair versus pair.
Can you put 1,000 in?
11.
Okay.
Yeah, one less.
Oh, wow. I love this. What do you think? Fast play in this.
Yeah, I do.
It looks weak. You know, the internet guys, they say you got to raise this bet all the time. Let's see how good Torelli is.
Raise to 35.
This is like music to his ears now.
He's got, I mean, this, think about it. There is no other thing he could have done that would have gotten the pot this big, this fast.
Right. And now he obviously got to suck this guy in and flat call this. You know, you're obviously going through your mind, he might have a couple of hearts, but you're better off flat calling this and seeing the turn.
Call.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, this pot's 94,000. Zaout realizes he's got him trapped like a duck.
He didn't really want to see that card. I think Anton, he wanted to see a nice big ace out there.
And Torelli's got a lot of reasons to take a free card here. What are his reasons for betting?
Well, just try and keep the pressure on, I suppose. He might take another stab at this.
Having a little look now.
It's all about the bet size,
Right.
yeah.
50.
I think he's kind of gone halfway there. And Torelli's got himself in a bit of a position. Now this Alec Torelli, he was at the final table, Ian, of the 40,000 no limit at the World Series, a very tough event. And Antoine Zaout has outplayed him there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, it's easy if you flop a set, but he played it very well, Jesse, and the 50,000 was enough to make it look like a bluff as well, wasn't it?
He did flop a very good hand, Zaout, but he played it masterfully. He got the max out there.
He did get the max, yeah. Played great.
And that's why he's got 417,000.
Join us after the break as the action continues here for Heat 4 of the Party Poker World Open 5. Welcome back to the Palm Beach Casino in London. There's $480,000 in the prize pool, but only one spot in the final. Heat 4 continues, so let's get straight back to the action.
Teddy Sheringham, deep breath. A lot of people have had that reaction to sitting next to Scott Fischman. He makes you scratch your head. And really opening it up here. Sheringham under the gun raise.
Pass.
November 9er Zaout has been quiet so far.
Call.
Got to think Scotty Fischman's playing any two here. He's played any two so far.
Teddy's raised it up under the gun here, and the two hands that's called him in the blinds have got him completely done.
And I wonder what Teddy's up just a little bit, maybe. Kind of throwing a little wrench into the works here.
Check. Check.
He could either take the free card or fire the continuation bet. It's a coordinated sort of board with the queen jack up there, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, there's so many cards that are going to call your bet.
Yeah.
You know, he's better off checking.
Yeah, I think so. So does he. How much does Fischman like his hand now?
Check. 7.
I guess the problem for Teddy now is that he thinks, well, this guy could be bluffing, but he just really can't call at this stage now that he's given up on the flop. Can he?
No, not really. You know, he's not that involved, as he's put 7,000 in or something at the beginning. It's quite easy for him to pass now.
The pot odds are very attractive. I mean, Fischman's basically bet 7,000 into what, like 35. It's almost not even a bet at all.
At least that dodged the check raise there. That's good news.
Check.
Unless Teddy bets the pot here, he's going to call him.
And you know, if Teddy's betting, he's basically turning his hand into a bluff, right? I mean, there's no.
I think it depends how much he needs to bet over 30.
31.
Would he bet 31? I can't believe that.
Bewildering.
I said he needs to bet over 30. He's bet 31.
Cool.
Yeah, he needed to bet 50.
It was an odd sort of bet, wasn't it? I mean, it's almost like he put Scott on a weak jack and thought, well, I'm going to try and get him off of that. That's the only thing he could have been thinking, right?
I have been playing a lot of online poker I took a long break this year to get well physically from my rheumatoid arthritis. And so I've just played a few live events, and this trip to London is basically my first comeback from my, physical problems. And I haven't had a horrible trip here, even though I haven't won anything. But I'm happy with my game, so we'll see what happens. The deep stacks and the amount of time that we're given is going to allow me to do whatever I need to do, and it could be play every hand or not and talk and act like a drunk person, or it could be quiet and never say a word and who's the guy in the 3 seat. It's a coin toss. I have no idea.
Look, this guy, see, he's getting involvement cards, ain't he, all the time? But
he's getting battered. He's getting absolutely trashed. I almost feel like a guy like Scott, he says this and is just calling out a spite in a sense. No, you would call him, wouldn't you? You look over at a guy like that and you say, he's down on himself. I'm just going to call him. I mean, it'd be too much fun.
This does happen as well, Jesse. There's certain players you feel really comfortable playing flops with. If they don't hit, they're unlucky, they keep getting rivered. They're the sort of guys you want to play pots with.
Yeah, and he knows his image is shot. Like, he's bet this. It's going to be tough for him to stay committed to this. He needs to get this through. If Trickett wants to make a play, and this call that Trickett's made, he's got a plan.
Look, see his
right?
face, that his face. Already his chin's hit the floor. Look, he's thinking, oh, he's opened the door now for Sam to put out a little bet here.
You cannot call this flop unless you're planning to bet this turn, can you?
No, of course not. Well, it looks like he's going to make it 30,000. We know 26.
I guess he had a slight problem there, Trickett, in that his hand's now got.
And this is what happens, Jesse. You start getting outplayed left, right, and centre. You can tell.
And this guy, he is one of the best in the world. Final table, 40K no limit, second Aussie Millions heads up, 8th place World Series of Poker heads up tournament. You say his online name, people raise their eyebrows and say, that guy. But 94,000, and look at his V chip, 39%. Everybody, I think they're still in sort of learning mode of each other. Most of these guys don't know more than one other player at the table.
Raise to 11.
It's almost like 8 strangers.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure that they sort of do a lot of homework on each other as well, Jesse.
It doesn't appear that way, no.
We know this guy's calling everything that goes on.
Yeah, now this King-9 suited out of position, it's this is a lot different than calling on the button, isn't it?
This is, obviously he's got the diamonds have come there to, so Sam's going to bet this. Well, I thought he'd bet that.
Now, why would he do that?
Well, he's got the ace of diamonds, so there's nothing to scare him there, but I still would have bet it myself.
Because that's the best chance he has of getting a big pot.
You want the pot as big as possible before the river comes.
I mean, in Jorgensen's mind,
Marty?
That's how Sam Trickett would have played like the ace flush, really. I think he's not. He probably would have been more excited about it if the flop had gotten bet, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Check.
He probably thinks his king's good here, this guy.
So Trickett could make a big bet here.
40,000. Probably even 50 will get paid. And go for more than this, I fancy.
Yeah, he's going really small here.
28.
don't know why he's chosen this line.
Cool.
You know, he's gotten this money. It feels like overall he's underbet it. I don't know why. You agree there?
Yeah.
You know, he could have made a nice bet on the flop and checked the turn, and made a nice bet on the river. He could have. I don't know.
Pay attention when I'm in, but
You know, that's
That's
right.
what he's doing.
You know, the other guy could have had something like king, queen with a queen of diamonds, you know, and he would have took off.
Yeah.
Sam bets the flop.
Maybe Trickett is just trying to, I don't know. He wanted to guarantee himself safe money against weak hands.
Of course. You know, you're always happy when you win a pot, but
Raise to
he's had
10.
the aces and
Pass. Pass.
he ain't got them cracked, so.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool. Pass.
For Jorgensen, though, Ian, I think overall this
bad
table
call,
is way too tough.
yeah.
Way too tough to be playing those sorts of hands in the small blind.
Yep.
Now this, I think this has been raised by Antoine
Check.
up to 10,000, and it's top pair, no kicker. Fischman's gonna get involved here somehow.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get involved.
And this now, it'll be the first time that Antoine and Fischman are going to war. I mean, wonder where Fischman is going to be between calling and
Raise to
raising.
18. So bet 18.
He re-raised Antoine earlier,
Cool.
before the flop.
It's quite a small bet there by Anton, 18 into that.
Oh, no queen, no queen, no queen.
10
no
is
queen.
a killer card. Wow.
Yeah, you called it, Jesse.
Wow, I think it's going to be hard for Antoine not to do all his chips here, isn't it?
I don't know, let's see. See how it pans out. I mean,
Well, if he bets and Fischman raises, I mean, you can't. And if you're Antoine, you can't right now be thinking your hand is not good, can you? You're not
No,
putting
of course
Fischman
not.
on a set here, are you?
no.
Not too much.
36.
Scott's got the nuts. He's got the nuts.
Raise.
Wow.
80 total.
You see, he's giving him the bit of bunny.
Well, that's what I'm
You know,
saying,
not
yeah.
too much, not too much, but then he's
He's raised
raised,
him.
so he's sort of giving his hand away a bit there, Jesse.
Yeah.
That would make some alarm bells start ringing.
Yeah, it didn't follow.
No.
After saying that, he needed to call, really.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's what. And Antoine is no fool. He is nobody's
No
mug.
queen, no
This guy's
queen, no
gotten through
queen, no
9
queen.
days of poker at the World Series.
What
He-
the?
Check.
230,000.
Sort of stinks of a big hand, don't it? I can't see how he can not pay it off, but he looks gutted that he's going to have to make the call here, I think. When Fischman called the flop, he kept saying, no queen, no queen, no queen, so he could be putting him on king, queen here.
Got
You with me?
Sorry?
Got
Straight.
Is that cool? Cool.
Yeah, you know, it's cool. I think Scott made a bet size that was very safe to get paid
Yeah,
off.
it's a massive hand for him
I don't know how
there.
the queen got there, but
You just know without having watched him play much, you know that he is a nuisance as a chip leader, right?
Oh,
I
right.
mean, you just know that.
It's going to
right?
drive you nuts with all them little bets and min raises and stuff. He's going to drive them potty. Whoops.
And I can
think
tell you
he-
exactly what's going to happen. Re-raise, all in, the jack on the flop. But it's just, this is written
clubs,
this is
yeah.
written in the book of life here.
86.
All in.
Yeah, he didn't have enough chips to mess about there.
Well, I mean, Zaout's only made it 10,000. 76,000 to call. Oh,
Oh dear.
jeez. Oh, jeez.
Well, this has just saved Anton here.
Yeah. And is Veit, are you ever folding jacks here? I mean,
Yeah, I have. I folded it in quite a big tournament a little while ago in this same spot, and both the other players had ace king, and I flopped a jack.
Right.
But I passed. But the way this guy's been playing aggressive so far, he's probably going to move all in here.
And also, Veit will be thinking to himself, like, Torelli's so tilted, he could have 10s, 9s, or 8s here. Could he? I mean,
well, yeah, he can, but yeah,
All in.
he's going to move all in. It saves Anton, which is amazing, ain't it? Look, and now he's thinking to himself, what's going on?
yes.
What is going on?
Faded the jack so far.
Whoa, there's the king.
Ooh.
There's the
Yeah,
king.
The river there. The river of the flop.
And as we've seen, there's only one jack left in the deck. Look, would have been a flush draw for the ace-jack suited. That's
Oh, yeah, look. He would have hit the flush.
You caught it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh, jack
Yeah.
of diamonds for the river.
How would he have been, this guy, Torelli? He would have been out of there so quick, wouldn't he? Ace jack, he flops a king and then wallop. Can you imagine, Jesse? What would that have been like?
Join us after the break as the action continues here for Heat 4 of the Party Poker World Open 5.
Welcome back. World Open action. Scott Fischman on top. Well on top. And don't say there's no creativity left in poker anymore. So he shut up shop after losing the big pot, and now he's woken up with kings. I wouldn't mind seeing him get some action here. I like watching this guy.
Quite funny, wasn't it? Good chances. That'd be quite
Grudge
funny.
him.
Well, there's his last couple of chances. Jesse, you're unbelievable.
Must be nice. This is the other way you get to the November, and every time your chips get in a little bit of trouble, you know, you just slide in the cooler. And
this is music to your ears when someone says this to you. You just raised it up with kings and someone says how much you have.
there's just so many arguments for Trickett to raise here. I mean, he's out of position, so he needs to get define the hand a little bit, right? I mean, he has to re-raise small blind, right?
Well, he's having a good old look at him here while he's counting his chips. You know, so how comfortable does he look?
You know, maybe is Trickett saying, I've got enough chips where I can I just take off a flop and check and fold, or are we third level now? Is it too strong a hand to do that?
Cool.
Wow. I think that's pretty mature there. Either that or it's a bad play. What do you think? I mean, what would you do?
Well, you know, he's just got him to count his stack. He could have picked up on something, and then, you know, with Anton there, and he did look really comfortable counting his chips, didn't he?
Yeah.
Look at this. Some
God.
people get really nervous and they don't cut their chips down quite as easy as that. And
think about this. I mean, a Trickett re-raises, Antoine shoves, and maybe Sam has to fold the hand pre-flop.
Yeah.
Now he's going to get all of his chips, an 86% favorite. And, well, Zaout's out the door.
Yeah, he is.
Antoine's bet nearly the size of the pot here,
Yeah.
30 into 36.
Well, he is cool.
This pot's now big enough. It's 100,000, and Zaout's only got about just over 100,000 back. So the money can go in now, the money can go in later.
Wow, look at this, Jesse. It's gone check, check.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
God!
So sick, isn't it?
And now Trickett, I mean, forget the three kings. Ace queen, he's scared of ace queen here. Because this looked like ace king or ace queen the whole way. Well, it does. I mean, he's bait, but I think he's checked the call. What do you think?
Who, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam's checked a call, I should imagine. It just got scarier and scarier, didn't it?
45,000.
Nice. How much you got left? I'm amazed. Oh no, he's not coming.
Raised.
He's genuinely thinking about passing, ain't he? How many chips he got behind there?
No,
can have hardly anything. 50?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's he got?
Well, I think it's about
more.
75 or
70.
80. Yeah.
Hot tens.
See, he thinks he's in front, Sam. Look, he'll be gutted. Look.
Yeah, that hurts.
Look.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
How much is it?
Wow. Now, I mean, what an amazing hand.
Yeah, it was amazing. It all could have gone in. I mean, they've
Well, yeah,
eventually
right.
They've got it all in at the end,
Right.
but it all could have gone in every street.
Sure.
Exactly his game.
Sure. Yeah. Could have gone in every street. And there was actually a chance that it didn't go all in.
Yeah.
At the end there,
Yeah.
I thought Sam was almost... but he had a reason to call. I don't know. That was crazy.
Yeah,
hand.
what a great hand that was.
And, you know, either way it comes out, you just got to say, two great players,
Yeah.
obviously, thinking all the way through.
Yeah, both players played the hand fantastically.
Raised to 13,000 total.
Oh dear. What's going on here? Every time I make a move, it backfires.
Exactly.
34,000.
Let's see exactly how he... Now, oh my gosh. You know, now, Fischman, while Jorgensen was thinking, Fischman was watching,
Yeah.
and he said to himself, this is not a hand.
Yeah.
He's picked this off.
Yeah.
He has just picked this guy off like a chicken bone. And you can't blame Jorgensen here. I mean, only a real pro can see that going
Yeah,
on.
of course.
Waited
Yeah.
a lot for that hand. I was waiting. I finally got one.
And that was a real pro move. I mean, that was a re-raise, and you can only do that if you're sitting next to the guy and you've watched the way he's looked at his cards and said he hesitated. God, it's a tough game.
That's why you have to pay so much attention, Jesse. You
Yeah.
know, so I used to see these heats where people, they wouldn't even look at the other players. They're just looking all around the studio and everything.
Don't give him the apple the wrong chips in this one.
Right now, when you say that there is every game a certain style suits it. I mean, right now, Teddy and Trickett, whereas they look kind of like rocks, but they're not. They're rocks with moves. I think they're going to pick off. You know, they're going to try to pick off some of these guys later on. We'll see. That's the dynamic that's building anyway.
Re-raised.
Well, he's just a nutcase, isn't he?
52,000.
And this is the second time he's re-raised an Antoine under the gun raise. The first time, Zaout insta-folded the sevens.
Yes.
What's different?
Well, nothing other than they've played a couple of hours now. But you know, I'm a real firm believer of once you get a trend, keep doing it. You know, if you keep raising someone's blind, they keep passing, or you re-raise the same person, they fold. Keep doing it.
I heard some stories about Antoine that suggest that the last thing he's ever afraid of is the chip leader.
Re-raised.
Oh, interesting.
Well, he's re-popped him up here. We know that's going to be the end of the hand.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, it's a medium pair, and he'll be so pleased to take this down, Anton. He doesn't know what Scott's got, obviously, and he'll just be really pleased once this guy folds.
And the left, what's left? You already counted it, I know. Oh no, you didn't count it? Pretending like you didn't?
You know, there is the bully in the schoolyard
let's
thing.
see.
I mean, if you're going to stand up to the bully, you stand up to him. And Zaout's standing up to him right now without much. I mean, nines is not very much right now.
What is it?
About 200.
I was asking all right, 90 what? 3. Oh, you got me, you got me, you got me.
Wow.
Good luck, sir.
What did he do?
Stand back.
What did he do?
He's called him, hasn't he?
He's called him?
Yeah. I reckon he's picked up something here. For sure.
All in. Call.
He's all in and a call.
What
Look at this.
happened?
What's going on?
Oh, you got me. I thought you were gonna show me something else. Obviously.
Look at the fella behind, look at the guy behind. He's been, what's going on? Am I watching the right game?
Nobody at the table has said anything. This is a $500,000 tournament.
That's really gangster.
And, I mean...
No queen, no queen, no queen, no queen.
I had a queen too.
I mean, Scott Fischman has outs here.
No queen.
You know? Slower.
I mean, you talk about going out on a limb.
Oh, that was so
What the heck?
I need clubs too. I need clubs. 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 Club. Oh, nice hand.
Jesse, I'm absolutely flabbergasted.
Now,
I mean, I can see his mentality because Anton definitely didn't look comfortable when he was talking to him, with, you know, counting the chips,
so
this, that, and the other.
I thought he put him on maybe a pocket pair. Was thinking I can take him off a big flop, but he was obviously putting him on ace king, right?
Yeah,
it was ace king he was putting him on.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. I mean, I'm being honest. Thought he had me, then I thought I had him. Is it that funny?
The Emperor's not wearing any clothes, but Antoine Zaout is 705,000 worth. Fischman's been knocked down to below starting stack. He can regroup. I've talked to a couple people, and they have said that this is not the kind of guy you want to be messing around with, this Antoine Zaout. I mean,
nor Scott, eh? You wouldn't want to be messing about with him, would you, after that?
Yeah, but, you know, I mean...
What a hand.
No, I know what you mean, but, you know... like, I guess when you hear that a guy has sort of, that he's the short stack at the final table of the World Series, you think, well, he's a rock and he kind of limped in there, but I don't think that's what happened to Antoine. I think he probably...
15, give him one change.
Probably raised every pot for about 7 days. It was pretty,
Check.
Now, what is a guy like Teddy Sheringham thinking right now?
What's the rest of the table thinking?
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
I think they was all trying to work out the hands. What everyone had there is absolutely madness. This guy in the background here thought he'd seen a ghost. Teddy's continued here. He's bet out 33,000 on this turn.
Wow, he really has. If you're Antoine right now, I don't know how you can still not be thinking about the last hand. I can't think of anything except for the last hand.
Well played, Teddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Gives yourself a little grin there, look.
That's how you lay down a double-barrel bluff. You sit tight for 22 hands and then just start shoveling chips in. I mean, that's, you know, that's how you do it.
Still thinking about that hand. It was amazing.
I just don't know how you can make such a precise read after as ace king there. I mean, you said, yeah, he picked up he's not immensely strong. But I don't know. Why was it only, why could it, he obviously said it's ace king, ace king.
Yeah, I think in his, and in his mind, like if the other guy checks the flop, he was going to move all in, wasn't he, Scott?
Yeah.
But he moved in straight away.
And Scott just said, well, if he's moved in like that, it has to be ace king.
Yeah.
He never would have moved in with a pair like that.
Raised 15,000 total.
I know what he's saying, but he hasn't played with the guy that long, has he?
Well, he obviously don't know who he is because he's saying, I wanted him to tell me, I want to see what country he's from. So he doesn't know who he is.
Like 170? Still.
Oh.
Well, is it a flop?
Check. Check.
I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about that.
20,000.
And that jack gives Veit a lot of excuses to fold, really.
Yeah.
That's sort of, I mean, your general philosophy of in pokery and like, oh, he's not going to fold.
He don't see. He don't look right, does he? You know. You know he's calling with a 9 here.
So this is a good spot for a value bet for Torelli. He shouldn't be happy. Yeah, he's going to make a value bet too.
Too much, I think. Yeah. If he bets 25,000, he'd probably get it.
Obviously, he's considering making a hero call here, Veit. I mean, are there arguments for it? I don't.
He ain't got that many chips, Jesse. I mean, 50,000 is quite a chunk out of that stack, what he's got there. He's calling.
Yeah, he has called. I guess in Veit's mind, he just thought, look, that was a scary board. The guy wouldn't have played aces like that. This Torelli is a crafty guy. And
Made a pair.
Max value. Well, still a full table of 8 as we get into this 5 and 10,000 level, and not exactly sure what to expect. I guess it's that time when it's likely someone's going to get their whole stack in, or you get a little shorter handed. I mean,
yeah, you're right. It's sort of much of the same, I fancy, but because the levels are kicked up that little bit more, they're more prepared to commit, I think, now, the players.
I mean, you talk about gear change. Theoretically, Antoine should step it up, and Scotty Fischman will have to grind down a little bit and find a good spot for his chips. Torelli, it's a nice hand from the big blind. Problem is he's out-duked.
Check.
Check.
And he'll be able to get away from this. It's such a strong flop for Teddy's. Obviously trying to figure out how you can get the most money from it.
25.
The thing is, also, it's one of them flops, see, for Torelli, it's one of them flops where the initial raiser's got to lead out at.
The metagame of this is that Torelli has finally got himself back into a pretty healthy chip position.
Yeah, he's put the re-raise in. You see?
Yeah,
I don't think the re-raise had to be that much.
What's going through Teddy's head? He needs to find a way.
I think he knows he's calling.
Oh.
He either wants to find a way to either let this guy bluff and not do his stack to a 6. He's probably decided he's doing his stack if the guy's got a 6 on it. I mean, is Teddy willing to stick them all in?
Check.
Even if the guy's drawing live, like we know Torelli's not drawing live, but even if he is drawing live, there's no way he can be drawing to more than,
60.
2 outs. I mean,
So bad.
and Sheringham, don't mess with this man.
There you go.
Yeah.
Up in second place now, Jesse.
Sure.
That's a great pot for Teddy to win. 4-4-2. He'll be feeling really confident now.
Okay.
And you can hear Torelli saying in the background to himself, "What am I doing? I shouldn't be bluffing this guy."
Thank you, Alec, by the way.
So sick they haven't brought my panini yet. That was it, huh? Uber sick. Forget the pot. Uber sick.
Our remaining players have an impressive list of final table appearances among them, and with $250,000 at stake, the tension's running high in Heat 4. Join us next time when we see more action and find out who wins their way through to the final table of the Party Poker World Open 5.
Thinking Ahead 101.
That's good news.
Fine by me.
I won a pot on national television.
Wow.